What up?
Oh, hello. Welcome to the Nicotina Show. This is episode Who Gives a Shit? No, I have no idea what episode this is. But hey, we want to welcome everybody on the panel, everybody in the comments section. I'll jump over there and get to that because you guys are pretty dope for joining us. Today we're going to talk about something really special. Anthony's shirt. That's pretty dope.
I do like it.
It's a Ryan design.
It's an exclusive. It's an exclusive. It's one of a kind because I don't know anybody else that has his initials. Yeah. So what's up, Jesse? How's it going, man? Fear Jason's in the house. Droga's here as well as Abel. A-list is here.
Nice.
What about Andrew?
How is everybody? His initials are ALB, so that's a little bit different than ACS.
ALP, man. You can't say it.
And Kareem Go 3D, what's up? How's it going, guys? First off, before we get into anything about your project, which is pretty dope, I've seen a lot of the promotional stuff, and our good friend Dawson Weidrich has been working tirelessly to bring. We told him he has to have at least 100 designs of your specific Superman by the end of the week. And
awesome.
And we'll see if he makes what's up, Niner for life. We'll see if he makes good on that. But before we get into that, guys, how's your week been so far? Your past weekend, your summer? How's summer going? Have you seen any fire movies that you want to talk about? And no, guys, we're not killing time. We are not killing time. Just know that.
Jesus Christ.
It's too hot.
First of all, Andrew, man, welcome to the Nicotina Show.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on and talk about Superman Solar because I'm, you already know I'm absolutely excited for this. Like,
yes,
ridiculously.
We came like nerds to a costume fest. We are fans of Superman and we are intrigued.
Yes,
love it.
And I know when you came on to my show, you were talking about the suit. That was I think that was the thing I was most excited was about to talk about the suit because it looks absolutely incredible. But yo, man, like he said, house obviously is hot. It's
it's too hot. I mean, I don't know where everybody lives, but to me, well, once you hit the upper 90s, it's just death for everybody. And we're
if you're in the
105,
I want to say the
107.
belly of the U.S. Like Anthony
Both of
is,
y'all
and
are.
I am, and maybe and it's the belly, and I'm at the navel, so it's
Yeah, I'm pretty much Texas Oklahoma border, so it's just
please come on. Then you might as well be in Canada. I'm down here in Houston, so
gotcha. Yeah.
We're right next to the Gulf, and the Gulf is like, hey, is it sweaty enough for you?
Catch this heat, homie. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah,
but man. It's besides the ridiculous heat that in 10 years, are we still going to be around? Because it just gets worse every year.
I know that it had to have been triple digits when we were kids. It had to have been.
I don't know how we stayed outside.
In my brain, it feels like it's worse than when I was a kid. And when we were kids, we were outside. Like kids of today are just like they're gaming, they're inside, they're on their iPads, whatever. But we used to like go ride bikes, play basketball, whatever. And
I used to spend hours on my trampoline. Just like whole afternoons, and there is no way on earth.
It was that hot.
I would walk outside today and be like, nah.
Please, guys, quit asking this question and continue.
I feel you, man.
I'm here. Okay, Ryan, you got relinquished the captain seat. There we go.
All right.
And Ryan, turn your lights on for crying out loud. It's so dark in there. It's like you're in a cave.
All right.
Now you're in a
European
club.
There
we go. Hey. Okay, so guys, welcome to the show. And I know you said hi to everyone earlier. I was outside dealing with my hot tub, so let me tell you real quick. And don't dare drop the. We don't. I'm here to tell you right now. No, so this is what happened. Okay, so I filled up my hot tub a couple weeks ago, and as I was filling it up, I left to go do something, and I told my wife, "Hey, I'll be right back," and she thought I was already done. So the hot tub overflowed, and then it shorted out the motherboard. So $400 later, we get a new motherboard in, and we're trying to take off the old motherboard because it's in a huge container. that's like embedded underneath it, right? And it has these 2 valves that run into it, right? And we're like, okay, cool. And so we undo the valve, and all of a sudden, like, just water shooting everywhere, right? Because we didn't empty it out. We're like, oh shit, So everything got soaking wet. So we were like, well, we're screwed. So today we took it out, put the new one in, fired it up right now, and everything works. So we're like, oh, thank God. So after all that, yes, I am back, and we're joined today by Andrew List, host of A-List Productions. If you haven't done so yet, check out his channel on YouTube. His channel is awesome. He's got a ton of interviews on there, a ton of content, really good stuff. Now, Andrew, I wanted to ask you, and normally we go right into movie talk and talk about all the stupid news that we like to talk about, but what I want to talk about is I want to talk about Superman Solar. I've been seeing a lot of images about Superman Solar, and so I just want to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about what is Superman Solar?
Yeah, it's a fan film that we are crowdfunding. It's obviously nonprofit. Anyone who deals with anything like that, Star Wars, whatever, they have to be nonprofit projects. Mm-hmm. And currently we're a little over 14K raised, which is just insane and awesome. We do have flexible funding enabled in case we don't reach our goal. We keep what we raised, and then we have to basically adjust budget and scenes specifically to that. But Superman Solar itself is a Superman story that is going to drive a lot more from an emotional standpoint than we really normally get with Superman. They a lot of times they like to just keep it all high action, and yeah, we got action planned, but it's definitely going to be Superman dealing with real issues that we've seen in the comics a few times, but we don't really see in live action as often. So,
and so you actually have a whole I think it's an Indiegogo account where people can go and donate money to the movie. And I know right now you've reached a certain point in how much you've raised for your budget. I forgot how much. Where is it at right now?
A little over 14K right now.
Yeah. And it sounds like a lot of money, but when you're making a movie, that can go really fast.
The thing is, the goal, the 25K, we've fully budgeted out. So if we don't reach the goal, we have to make some adjustments and obviously like that. But yeah, it's all going to go so fast. It's accounted for, for post-production. It's accounted for music. It's accounted for locations, for studio space, lots of things like that. Yeah, it's just, and this project, we've been working on it in pre-production for over a year, and it's been planned in some form or fashion, adjusted for roughly 10 years, the idea, at least, before we went from that. So, yeah.
So, why Solar? Why is it called Superman Solar? Or is that going to give too much away?
No, it's fine. It's actually funny because a lot of people haven't actually asked anything to do with why it's titled that way. And the reason, it might sound corny to some, but my actual reasoning behind it is...
So I'm the first one to ask you then.
Yeah, you're the first one to ask me that.
So I'm the first one to ask you, so then that means that's breaking news. All right, go ahead, go.
So, like I said, some people might find it corny, but my philosophy behind it is, so Superman gets his energy and his abilities from the solar rays of our sun, and Superman, based on how he was raised by the Kents and his humanity, he in turn is passing on his good morals, his intentions, his views, his heart and care for others, and trying to teach others, that there's always a better way, that we can save everybody, to other people, thus radiating that off of him, kind of a circle of life thing, making it solar. And that's kind of how I say it. He's getting this, he returns the energy, and it's just like a big loop, and that's where I came up with solar from.
Yeah, not corny at all. That's fire. That's
fire.
Yeah.
Some people might think it's like,
well, stupid.
Another good
maybe he has to go to the sun.
Yeah, he has to recharge.
He has to recharge at the end of the movie.
And
that's how they beat the bad guy.
Can't forward Superman.
So, do you have a main villain for this movie?
There is a villain that would be heavily dependent on funding, and that's all I can say right now for that.
This guy right here. Is it him?
We gotta see you guys. We gotta see you on the screen, man.
We gotta see us on the big screen.
Come on now. You got your costume. You're ready to go. Black Adam.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. There it is. No, it's not. Yeah. It's not. But I would say that if you ever intended to have a Black Adam cameo, I know a guy who looks just like him. That would totally work out.
If I had $1 for every person who is inserted a cameo that needs to be in my movie, we would be fully funded already.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all the cameos,
Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, The Flash, Batman. I'm like, it is a Superman film, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Superman.
Anybody could be in it, right? I mean, yeah. And they're like, it has to be the tactical suit from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Okay, cool, for Batman. Okay, tight. Now, when it comes to the suits and the costumes, where do you go to get all that made, and how do you do that? How do you go about doing that?
Man, that was a very long process. So it obviously first it started with me and a sheet of paper doodling what I would like to see in Superman suits and just kind of drawing together stuff. And then after I got to what I was happy with an idea, then I wrote to somebody who designed the concept art, went in detail about it, how we really wanted gold instead of yellow for all the yellow stuff. And it's kind of like I've just been saying it's a love child from my 3 favorite Superman suits, which is Man of Steel, Max Fleischer, and Kingdom Come. And it's like, that's kind of our, where we went with it. And then after getting the concept art from 2 different people made, then I spent a very, very long time finding the right person, because it's easy to find people out there who can make quality suits, but it's also turnaround time. It's also price, because some people who, in my honest opinion, I'm not going to say names, but make the same quality of suit that we have, we're charging 5 to 6 times more than what the person that I worked with is. And so it's like, well, obviously that, and then some people were like, oh yeah, we can get to it in a year. We're backed up. And it's like, a year, like no way. So I finally
10
found
years in the making, baby.
I finally found Unmasked Studio, and he made the bulk of the suit, and the boots were actually made by Tilly FX. And they both just completely nailed it. Like, I sent the reference stuff to them. I explained the details, and the nervous part was definitely when my actor came down to do the promo stuff, and it was like, man, if this doesn't fit, what the hell do we do? Yeah. Like, it was literally like, what if they got a measurement wrong?
We don't know. You've got a whole thing of chicken for him to eat if he's too little, and then you've got to work out when he's too big. It's like, anyways, you got to do one or the other, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but looking at it, in like a just straight live action shot, I mean, it looks great, by the way. And the texturing on the suit, it's fire. And I love how the suit or the logo kind of contours to his body, and it just looks really good. Now, I noticed you went with the red shorts. I know Ryan's a huge fan of red shorts, especially boy shorts for Robin.
I wear them everywhere I go.
Was there any debate on should we do the red shorts or not?
I wouldn't care if there was. I already wanted to do it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. There it is.
Part of your vision. And Superman.
Now there could be people that don't like it, and that's fine. But I've always
gold.
I like I'm fine with like what Man of Steel and Zack Snyder's did. I like that. I like other interpretations. But for me, I've always liked the trunks. I think it just completes the suit. And I was so happy with the delivery. When I said, seeing it and seeing him in the suit, I was just like, man, it feels like I said this when I talked to Anthony about, felt like we caught lightning in a bottle just when I saw him in the suit. I was like, man, this is gonna be something special.
So exactly, where is that suit now? Is it in your room?
It is hanging up in a closed dress suit bag.
That's gonna be another mannequin.
Yeah. It's gonna be on one of these mannequins I have over here when it's done for sure. Somebody was like, "Are you gonna put it on it now?"
Like Andy Muschietti. Hey, I wanted to say congratulations.
But the main reason I didn't put it on now is I don't want to get dusty or anything like that right now. You don't want
to.
Interesting that you said that
you
this
spill your coffee on it. Like, oh. What was that, Ryan?
I was just saying it's interesting that you had 2 different makers on this suit, and from that other shot that Andre had pulled up, how did you get them to or able to match the gold? Because that's kind of hard.
See, I'm glad you said that, because I got the boots first, the finalized boots. Okay. And when I got them, he was still working on the suit, but he had not gotten to the actual accessory pieces yet. So I sent him as many pictures as I could of the gold, and I was like, we gotta make it match as much as we can. And when I got there, yes, it is slightly off, but not, as you can tell, it's not enough to be noticeable. It is,
right.
And I was like, man, the golds are so close that it's going to be perfect. And speaking of the golds, that is also the reason we did not have a crest on the back of his cape. We originally intended to do that, but we tried multiple ways, and the golds just didn't work. It looked off. It didn't look the same. So we're like, okay, no crest on the back, and we'll go forward from there. So
yeah, it's difficult. Like you would actually have to have it sort of screen printed, for it to actually work like that, which is of course, more money. But yeah, I mean, that's why the last time you see that kind of stuff successfully would be on the Chris Reeve suit.
Right.
Now, we do have a suggestion here from Jesse Allen, who's a good supporter of the show. Should cast Andre as Lois Lane.
Lois Lane's already cast, so
Yes.
missed opportunity.
Sorry, Jesse.
What's his
Oh,
fire?
well,
ain't gonna happen.
I'll still watch the movie.
So speaking of which characters actually are in this movie without spoiling too much of it? Like, are the core characters of Superman in this movie, or is it kind of a different twist on it? And when does it take place? Is it modern day, or is it
It's
in the past?
I'll answer what I'm willing to answer out of everything.
There you go.
just
Yeah,
asked.
exactly.
Okay.
So it is taking place.
Does he
in modern
die at
day.
the end? No, I'm just kidding.
It is taking place in modern day. I've had some people be like, "Oh, it'd be cool if it was retro," and it's like, yes, and it would also be a budgeting nightmare because you'd have to
Can
worry
you imagine?
about cars, you have to worry about clothing, you have to worry about like,
Mhm.
oh, that kind of technology wasn't invented yet. Oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't, everything like that would. Oh, a plane
Yeah.
flew in the sky. Well, those planes weren't invented until another 10 years or whatever.
There was a helicopter in the background. This is not legit.
That's why you
Yeah.
always go into the future.
But and then there will be a lot of traditional Superman characters that you're used to. Lois Lane is in it, Martha Kent's in it, Jonathan Kent's in it. In fact, we'll have a casting announcement for Jonathan Kent. I can't talk today this week. So,
Will it be Kevin Costner?
if you donate, yes.
There you go, guys. There you go. If you
He's like,
donate,
all the
it's a
budget is
guarantee.
going to
Let's
Kevin
go.
Costner right now. I really need.
Yeah,
more.
we're gonna actually film it on an iPhone instead.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be dope. That'd be so dope.
And vertical.
I
of
was
course, too. We'll
inspired
film
by
it
Zack
vertical.
Snyder.
Yeah, I want it filmed in IMAX format, please.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, guys.
So
And
let
then-
me ask you about that. I mean, aspect ratio wise, I mean, are you going for like a 16:9, or are you going for like a widescreen?
It'll
Like,
probably be 16:9.
yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
We haven't fully decided that yet. We have a few options, and we'll make that full decision right before we actually, not right before, but like before
Close
we
to
actually go
shooting.
into shooting. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's one of those things. It just depends on the settings we put on the cameras for shooting,
Mhm.
essentially. And there could be another major character, but it is heavily depending on funding. That's what I'll say about that part.
That's awesome.
So,
That's
There you
really
go.
really
Lawrence
awesome.
Fishburne. You heard it here first.
Huh?
No, so I mean, so you said this is taking like 10 years to kind of put together. I mean, I know recently you did the Star Wars fan film, which I thought was absolutely fire. It was so badass. Do you have any other projects on the line that you're kind of planning in your head? Like, dude, I'd love to do this or this or this.
Yeah.
Or...
I have plenty of like those pipe dream projects. Like that'd be a cool story to tell. But this has been
mean,
the one, man. Like
I would say
forever.
this is
has
a
been,
pretty big pipe. I mean, this is a lot.
No, this has been the one
Why are you
for.
talking about Superman's pipe?
Because it's Superman's. I mean, this is a Superman
No,
story.
This
I mean,
is
this is a major
definitely
character.
the biggest. The Star Wars project. I was fortunate enough to be brought on to.
Mhm.
It wasn't my story, and it was a lot of fun working on it. Getting to do a lot of visual effects for that, and a lot of directing and stuff to help them out. And then this is just like fully. I mean, it's just been so long of constantly evolving and revamping the story over the years. And then I finally got to a version that I'm very happy with.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I keep saying I really hope we do get fully funded, because there are some scenes in there that are heavily dependent on the budget making it there, and would be very exciting and very awesome. I think for any comic book fan to see happen.
Now, do
So.
you have a rig to make him fly?
No, we don't have a rig to make him fly, but we have a few techniques that we're going to be utilizing for a lot of things.
You
we have
mentioned trampolines before the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they use trampolines for like George Reeves.
George Reeves.
and-
Yeah.
Will you be
No,
will you be utilizing trampolines in this movie?
I don't think so. No, we have a few techniques that we have planned, and we already have our 3D modeling team for weeks now that have already been making 3D models of the actor And I've already seen test shots that look incredible. So, and it's only going to get better before we actually get to that point. So, yeah, there's some big things coming. First time you'll probably see any of the 3D model in action would be when we get to at least the teaser trailer stage, which will still be a while from now.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I mean, how excited are you for that? To where you get to that point where you can start putting together like a teaser trailer for this project?
I'm a big guy on visualization. So I've been listening to the score piece that has been created for this for months.
Yeah,
and I visualized. I visualized where I would put dialogue lines for the trailer to hit beats to hit. So I'm ecstatic to when we get to that point to make that.
Well, it's crazy because we've been working on Project Justice League, which part 2 is gonna be coming out later this year, this summer. And I know exactly what you mean because when we first started to really get serious about this, I had a lot of the scenes already planned out in my head and like what song was going to play and then when it was going to cut to this song, and so like putting it together, it was so much fun because like it was exactly like I had already pictured it in my head. I knew exactly how I wanted it to look and feel, and so I totally get like when you try and put even like a teaser trailer together, if you have an idea of how it's supposed to look like, how you want it to look like, it's so much fun to like put it together.
It's fire.
It's fire.
On the ready with the clips.
I
know.
So, do you have a scheduled date for when you want to release Superman Solar? Or I mean, obviously it's still a ways out, but still.
I don't have a date specifically because again, a lot of it will depend on funding. If we don't reach the goal, obviously it'll take less time to shoot. If we do reach the goal, it takes more time to shoot and it takes longer in post. But ideally, I would like, fall, winter next year for an actual release, possibly earlier. But I don't like to concrete a release date.
No, exactly.
Because I've seen a lot of people do that, and then they're like, "Yeah, it's coming this time," and then they're like literally off by a year and a half, and it's like,
they're like, "Well, that didn't work out." So but no,
I
see what you mean. But definitely no. I'm really looking forward to Superman Solar. I think it's gonna be badass. Ryan was actually he's the director of Star Wars Rising Threat.
We talked about this last time.
Years ago.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we talked about this.
But I mean, like from the standpoint of making your own film, Ryan. I mean, do you have any? For both of you guys, I mean, what are some of the challenges that you take on when trying to make your own movie?
There's a lot of challenges. I mean, this is like my
challenge.
7th one. Yeah.
See, I mean, the internet has grown so much since then. When I started, that was back in 2001. And so we didn't have crowdfunding. We didn't have, anything like Indiegogo or
same with my
anything
first
like
stuff.
that.
There
So
was nothing like that. Yeah.
That was all my money. And I was, of course, Lucasfilm, you can't, make any money. So I had to rely on people, their generosity and stuff like that, as far as like, their time and I had costuming. I had a guy that had masks, creature masks, and he shipped them from, I think, South Carolina. And so we got to use those for a little bit, and then we had to ship them back. And I had another lady that did a lot of conventions, like Star Wars conventions, whatever. She had a lot of costumes, which I was fortunate to have her mail those to me so I could use them temporarily, and I had to return them. And so, I mean, it was, and then, I heavily relied on green screening, and this was before HD cameras were available, readily for.
You're preaching, I went through.
I was on 720, and so I'm just like, okay, I'm sort of a dinosaur now. If I wanted to like go back and do that, it'd be like I could put it online and I'd feel okay with it, but I couldn't show it like at a theater or anything like that or whatever. But yeah, no, dude, you got a lot of challenges. My biggest challenge was people. Was the actors, actresses, or whatever that didn't have to be there because I wasn't paying them to be there, and I got a lot. Fortunately, I got a lot of my talent from our local high school for performing and visual arts, and I even got the principal from high school for performing and visual arts to be the emperor of said Star Wars film. So, having your guy, you'd mentioned that you had. Like he had traveled from somewhere, and so I'm assuming that either you put them up for a place to stay or you know, and so I mean, you know, you're of course, you know, when you're shooting, you know, I could only shoot on the weekends because I had a regular job, you know, 9 to 5. I had kids, you know, so it was a lot to balance, and so I could only shoot on the weekends. So shooting for me took almost a year of just compiling, you know, times to shoot, going on location. Fortunately, I'd relied on the green screen a lot. Are you doing a lot of location shooting, or are you doing a lot of green screen, blue screen?
Both.
Okay.
There's we do have green screen studio space that we're going to be running and utilizing. But then we also have lots of physical locations. A few that I'm like shocked that we locked in that I have not revealed yet that are just like immaculate. They're just, like the first time people see a picture or a shot from there, they're going to be like, "How the f did they do this?" In my opinion, because I'm still shocked that it's worked out to this degree. We planned it. Like I said, we've been in pre-production for over a year, and that's when we already mapped out everybody would be available for when we shoot. Like everyone that's acting or in some capacity like that, they're putting in vacation time because they care about the project, and that's kind of what we did. Pulling our team together is I pulled people from other projects, like one of the people from that Star Wars project we talked about. He's going to be involved in this one and behind the scenes kind of stuff. So like I've kind of pulled together people that I've collaborated with or worked on other films with in the past. Yeah. So it's all people I already know, like personality wise, their work ethic, and to me, from working on any projects, reliability matters more than anything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
More than anything. A lot of people, like, you know, who haven't done this, might not realize how much that is such a major factor in telling your story. Is like you can find somebody that looks or sounds exactly like XYZ, but if they're not reliable, if they're not dedicated, it might as well
that kind of happened. That kind of happened with me. One of my principal characters. She was. I worked on her, or with her. Not worked on her. I worked with her on a previous project, and she was great. She was, a lead in that, and I was like, hey, you're fantastic. I'm doing this other thing or whatever. Would you be, okay to do that? All the way, she was great. Communication was great. Everything was great all the way up until the day of shooting. She was a no-show,
wow.
And then I had to jump in her role. Gender swap the performance or whatever, which didn't really it was very easily swapped out because it didn't really depend on gender for that. But anyway, I had to go for it, and I didn't want to be in front of the camera. I was like, I'll do it like a cameo, but it ended up being I was and
that stuff happens on every project. There's always like unexpected things,
and that's why people are the most. And there was another situation where I had somebody in a role, and they just weren't performing or emoting the way that I needed them to. So there was somebody else. We reshot the whole scene with a different cast because they had the second cast that we had brought in. They had more synergy. They were able to bounce off each other a lot better, and it flowed a lot better than the other one. And a lot of people on projects like these, they're cool up until you say action. And then either stage fright kicks in, or they have that tunnel vision. They forget their lines, or they forget how to play off of the other person or whatever. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of challenges that you have lying ahead. When do you actually start shooting?
This October.
Okay.
Yep.
So remember now,
not 110 outside.
Yeah.
I know you guys are.
He's like, oh god.
What's the suit made out of? Is it a lycra?
Honestly, I could not tell you. I don't know fabrics. I don't know the
Okay.
I don't even want to lie, but it's the guy who made it. I mean,
Kevlar.
Yo, Andre, bring up that what I just shared in there real quick. I do want to ask you about this because I saw obviously a couple of days ago you posted this. So you said broke 13K, almost to 14. Now we know where that's gone.
Yeah.
But so the Smallville logo, man, tell us about it because this is dope, dude. Like I saw this.
I got some of the stickers actually right by me, so I can.
Yeah. There you go.
So one thing I think, and I've said this before, one thing I think they've always gotten wrong in every live action Superman media is Smallville is too big. It is always too big. And I get it because it's people in Hollywood or New York City that are going, what's a small city? Oh, 100,000 people. And it's like, no, that's not small city. I grew up in small town, and we, we have under 2,000 people that live in the city that I grew up in. So when you that and I think they've always missed that magic. What it needs to be is like everything's closing for the football game, and that's stuff that we're going to show. Smallville isn't in the movie for an extended period of time, but I wanted to capture like it's truly small town vibe, and the place that we're using. So when you're like, oh, the Eagles, so their team, I won't say the name so people aren't like looking it up, but Eagles is their high school team. And I was like, okay, well, in post it would be a nightmare to try to change a mascot, stuff like that. But to utilize what they are already using as their mascot for essentially, and this isn't their logo or anything for their team, they have an eagle in theirs, but it's kind of funny. My guy designed a better logo than what they actually use.
Oh my
their own
gosh.
school, which is really funny. But when we were doing it, I was like, I want to have like a Superman homage in there, maybe like fire coming out of the eyes that can just be like a nice nod to Superman and Heat Vision. And what he came up with, I sent him some shirt designs from like the Smallville TV show and like the Dillon Panthers from Friday Night Lights to give him like inspiration of what I was going for. I'm like, a shirt that somebody who attended the high school could potentially actually have in our universe. And that's kind of how we came up with the design. So
that's crazy. I mean, so much goes into this. I mean, it's not just, oh, I'm going to shoot here and shoot the scene. I mean, there's a lot of details you have to take into account.
In your universe, does Lex Luthor hail from Smallville?
No.
Thank you.
No, he does
I
not.
appreciate that.
We're friends from childhood.
No, and the thing is, I've built backstories and reasoning. I tried to for almost everything we've done, like even things that aren't going to go on screen specifically. I have a mental backstory for why this acts this way and presents itself this way. Because I think if you make everything have a rhyme or a reason, then everything makes more sense rather than, oh, that looks cool. And then that's the whole reason behind it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about that because that's I do. I saw that the other day and I was like, yo, this is dope. Like I'm wanting on a t-shirt right now.
Now that's the link right there to donate to your the link right there.
Right here. Yep.
Yes.
Anthony, do me a favor. Will you post that in the chat?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, where are we going now?
No, it's just the it's the Indiegogo page.
He's doing a live donation, so we're just gonna kind of show you guys how
he's doing a live donation. There it is. He's like, yes.
So this is the Indiegogo page where you can donate and help this fucking absolutely fire film, get made to the potential that Andrew has imagined it to be. So if you can, just fucking shoot something to it, man. And obviously you can see the perks and stuff like that. He's got the story here and everything you need to know about it. I'll post the link. Yeah. I'll do that for sure.
Now, the actor who's playing Superman, is that is he like an actor friend of yours, or is it someone that you had to go out and cast?
He is a very long time friend and colleague that I've known, spent a lot of time with in the Army. And I know from working with him on a one-on-one basis and the type of person that he is, that he's going to be great in this role. He did so much public speaking. I know he is not going to be nervous in any way, shape, or form in front of the camera. He did the 75th Normandy celebration right with Barack Obama and stuff. So like, he's going to be completely fine behind the camera with some people he knows. So I knew he was the right guy for it. And when I first reached out to him, it's funny because when we surfed together, I was like, man, he would be great as like Superman if I
I was going to ask you that.
And I kept thinking that in my head. I kept thinking that in my head. And then whenever it actually came to like, I'm going to do this, he was my first choice. And if he would have said no, then it would have been literally like, we have to cast and do all this stuff. And I messaged him and I said, I have a random question for you and possibly more depending on how you answer. And I said, how would you feel about being a lead in one of my projects? And then he's like, I would love it. And then I said, you would be Superman / Clark Kent. Thoughts? And then he was like, I'm down. I'm in. Like, and then he asked for details. We had a phone call, and I told him the extent of it. I'm going to push him to his limits with, some of the.
We're going to throw you out of a plane.
No. I acting limits, but with the scenes that we're going to be setting up and stuff. So, and he's fully on board. And
put a GoPro.
and he will be dyeing his hair slightly darker for actually shooting for the promo stuff. He didn't dye it, but it'll be slightly darker, darker, closer to black. Obviously,
you're shooting real guns at him. He's like, oh my god!
you should be okay with this, right?
Remember, you're bulletproof, so you can't look scared.
Remember, you're bulletproof. I believe it's made out of Kevlar, but don't quote me on that because I don't know anything about the material. But you should be good.
Yeah. Hey, don't shoot him in the head. All right,
Don't shoot him in the head.
or the hands. No, this is really, really cool. I mean, the fact that you're doing it in live action,
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a huge process that I don't think people realize. Like that, I mean, I can only imagine the amount of work that goes into filming a live action movie. I know, Ryan, you filmed your entire movie basically. And
yes.
having to coordinate everybody and where they have to be on the screen and where they have to be
Yep.
in front of the camera and the lighting and the time of day and I just look. I've been in a couple of like fan films that like my buddy who was into film. I was in a few of his films. These are all like short movies that he made for himself.
Yeah, little
What?
What? Yeah,
No,
porn,
he's-
yeah, right. No, but and even then, like we would shoot, and we were shooting at his aunt's house. Who she had passed away, so it was an empty house. So we used it as like a safe house for this movie that we were filming. And as soon as it started getting dark, he was like, "All right, we're done."
This
Like,
is
what?
not sounding any better. This is like, and then it got real dark.
Yeah, it
and
sounded-
then
It got real dark.
Whoa, dude, you gotta pump the brakes
Yeah.
there, buddy.
Hello, no.
But no, this is awesome. And then the link is on there. What's this, Anthony?
Yeah, sure. I wanted to talk about this just a bit. You did get
Exactly.
a
That's right.
local news station from the town that you're shooting in.
Yeah.
Straight up came. So tell us about this, man, because this is fire, dude. Like I was like, yo, this is
So I mean, it's just really. I mean, a lot of this stuff is taken. I know people see like mass sharing and stuff, but they're not seeing. There's many hours going into behind the scenes networking, reaching out to different people and things
I
like
would
that,
imagine.
and they reached back out to me when I just mentioned that I'm making this in the city, and they were like, "We would love to do a story on this. When
Wow.
can you meet?" And I'm like, "You tell me when," and then they came out and did the story and aired it the same day. It was super
Nice.
cool, and I haven't told anybody this, but this is actually an even cooler thing. The studio is down to be involved in the movie physically, and that will be happening.
that is
Oh, that's awesome.
like
That's
Oh,
cool.
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
now
yeah.
you can have them
like
covering
recording in
like the story of
background.
what's happening.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
dude, that's fucking fire. Yeah, I did. I saw that and I was just like, yo,
like
this
a
is-
rival of Lois Lane or not, like a rival.
She gonna be working
paper.
for?
Is it a
like,
paper?
yeah.
Actually, is the Daily Planet going to be a paper or all forms of media or whatever?
Daily Planet is a paper.
It's paper.
in
Paper,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
traditional
And is
sense,
it,
yeah.
and from what they just said, let me ask: is this if they are involved, are they just going to be another local news station that's there, or
They're in, so they will be more or less utilized like a news talk show that is discussing things that are happening with our universe.
Mhm.
At least a portion of it, because the thing is, we haven't worked out all the logistics, but obviously they are producing news every single day, so
Mhm.
it's not like I can say, all right, close down the studio for a week, guys, and I'm
just
gonna
come
do,
on.
it's gonna have to be worked in to the times that they can. But the cool thing is too is the person who interviewed me, who's in that little screen cap, Kaylin, she said, when I told her about it, she was like, and I want to be one of the people that are utilized for one of the scenes. And I was like, you got it. Like,
Yeah.
deal. No problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
so
It
yeah,
sounds
super
like,
cool.
yo, let's go. Yeah, for real.
it's
Yeah,
better
or
when
do
you don't
do
have
you think
to.
that they would shoot something for you in studio and then allow you to use the footage that they've shot?
That's what I'm going to talk to them about when I
Yeah.
actually have an official sit down, because obviously I can bring my gear in, but it's better if it's just the exact
Oh,
way they shoot
yeah.
it and produce
Mhm.
it. So yeah, I'm
You're
gonna,
like,
I'm gonna
we
see
used
about
your
that.
weather station green screen. They're like, oh, I guess you can. Tight.
And in
No,
other
go with
news,
quick
Goodyear Tire is up 0.16%.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, but Microsoft is down.
They're
See, that's
sponsoring us.
great. Because then you can make
this
it like,
is-
LexCorp, you can put whatever you want. I mean, it'd be really,
Yeah, I
really
mean,
cool.
We have a resident villain here. You can maybe use him.
Yeah, that's me.
He's a villain.
Yeah, I'm the bully.
Oh, man.
No, this is really, really cool.
He could
and,
be the muscle.
Andrew in the house.
Oh,
Same chair. Same spot.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, it's the same spot. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just reversed. Like,
No, nice.
oh,
yeah.
like Bizarro.
That's
oh god,
Yo,
Bizarro Andrew.
Taco Casa sponsored 100.
Casa
Taco
is
Casa.
good.
That
Is it
good
really?
Pasta
movie.
is good. Yes, it's
Yeah.
fire. It's
Bro,
a Texas local place
the
in the
temperature.
area.
what
Yeah.
state are you in?
Texas.
Texas. Ryan's in Texas.
Yeah. We talked about it while you were absent.
Yeah. While you were out there, I'm sorry. I got pulled away because my wife said, "I need your help." I go out there, and my kids, what my kids do, they open the lid and they jumped in the hot tub while it was cold to go swimming. And I'm like, dude, you got to get out because I don't have the side panel on there, so the water can splash over and get right onto the electricals. I'm like, get out, everybody out, everybody out.
Another motherboard.
I know. I'm like, $400 later, here we go again.
Yeah.
But no, overall though, Andrew, this looks so awesome, and I really cannot wait to see the finished product, let alone the teaser trailer, the trailers, all this stuff. I'm so hyped for this. I think it's gonna be so cool. Thank you so much for talking to us about this. And obviously, hey, we have movie news to talk about. You want to stick around and talk with us? All right, here we go.
Sure.
So, guys, definitely check out Superman Solar. The link is in the chat. Go check that out and donate to the budget. Hey, the bigger the budget, the better it's going to be. I mean, it's already going to be fire as it is, but I mean, imagine if you got over 25K. Imagine if you got to like 30 or 40. Wow.
Yeah. Donations start at $1 too. So
they start at $1.
If anyone wants to get involved, you can get involved. So that's what we started there. So if anyone wants to have any possible way of getting involved, we start it there and then goes up from there, and it all helps and all adds up. I mean, it sounds corny to say, but that's the truth. So.
Yeah.
That's
literally
so awesome.
could literally be you might pay for a coffee that somebody drinks before they go do their scene, and they're firing the scene. They're like, yo, that coffee was
water on set, stuff like
it all
helps.
all of that shit. Yeah.
Water on set is pretty
support, man. And you already know I'm.
Yeah.
Now,
I think all of us really. I mean, all of us are going to support the hell out of you in this project because I mean, it's a huge endeavor, and I commend you just for even attempting it, and you're very far along, and I think that's awesome, man. It's really really cool.
One more thing, I don't know if I asked you this last time, but are you going to have like a sort of a documentary team, like?
Maybe not a team, but I'm big into behind the scenes. I'm huge. One of my favorite things about anything I watch. So
yeah.
On the like we have a Blu-ray version, then we also have like an extended Blu-ray that has all these extra features and stuff, and that will be included on there. And eventually we'll put it online, but obviously we'll let people who qualified for that be able to enjoy it beforehand. But yeah, we definitely plan on having gag reels, behind the scenes, all these details that we haven't got to reveal. And sitting on all these secrets for
like interviews with the cast and things of that nature. Good.
We definitely plan to do that.
I do love that stuff. It's fire.
Yeah.
And then we got a question here from Jesse Allen. He says, "Has the main villain been revealed, or can't say yet?" He can't say. He cannot say yet.
Lock and key. There you go.
There you go. And then he's got one more question or a statement. He says, "Man, make sure the actor doesn't like grow a mustache." Well, there you go.
Well, we're working with Warner Brothers on removing mustaches. They're really good at it, I heard. So.
Well, you have to have a contract with Paramount first, and that will force Warner Brothers to help you guys out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's funny you mention that because, like, a while back,
I had a mustache once.
I had a mustache. No, a while back we were talking about how the Steppenwolf design that they used in Justice League was terrible. He looks like an action figure, and we're making fun of it and all that stuff. And then yeah, but yes, and then Ryan had brought up the what's up? I don't.
No,
not here.
We do not.
I'll bring you mine when I'm done with it.
You can have mine at any time.
She wants this. Actually, I did have another one. Oh well, she's gone. I forgot I had a second one. So what was I saying? So we were talking about that, and Ryan's like, yeah, he's like, but like somebody worked on that. I was like, what do you mean? Yeah. He's like, somebody like worked on that design. Like somebody animated that. Someone like spent
for
time
hours and months and weeks.
Yeah. And we're over here like, oh, it sucks, garbage.
No fault of theirs. They get.
Yeah, they took the direction that was given to them. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about it, like if you're the guy behind that, who animated most of those scenes and did the special effects, and you're just like, oh great, everyone's making fun of it. That sucks.
Well, the other side of it is too. There's so many times where people know they don't like the way it's looking, but it's not their choice. They have to just say, okay, well, and I mean, even the mustache thing, like those guys got rushed to do that. Like people like they can't remove a mustache. Like, yeah, they gave them like 3 weeks before the release of the movie to do all this work. Like no turnaround time.
Well, it's just like the Sonic the Hedgehog before they got the redesign. They worked on that ugly looking thing.
Yeah.
that somebody designed.
Thankfully, they did the right thing by
Yeah,
listening
yeah.
to the fans on that.
Oh,
one. Yeah.
thank God they did. That other design was so weird.
Yeah, both those moves are fire. I
Yeah.
am a Sonic fan. Those moves are great. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sonic is
So like,
good.
yeah, I think I 1000% know I speak for at least us three, Andrew, and we can't wait for this to hit, and we'll be fully supportive along the way, man. So if you ever need, like, if you need something, man, just hit us up, man. And I'm not talking, not me. Don't listen to Andre. I'm just
Anthony's he's a fire barista.
What?
He can get coffee for you guys.
Yeah, if you want me to, fly me over there, man. I'll make coffee for everybody.
He's Black Adam. He can fly himself.
No,
Yes.
I saw the trailer. You can fly.
Yeah. And apparently he can launch rockets, which no other superhero has ever done.
No, never done. So speaking of Black Adam, let's actually break to some more breaking news. So this is a Black Adam leak from someone who works at Warner Brothers. Now, I take it for what it is. Take it with a grain of salt. But here we go.
Good old meme maker, 69420.
Yeah. 69420. You know what I mean?
Now, guys, this was also 10 days ago, so this is not breaking news.
Yeah. So, as the scooping world has taught us, things have changed. Things have changed. Okay, so Black Adam leaks. Okay, this is gonna
Black
be
Shinder. Zack Shinder.
This is gonna be set after the first Justice League movie. I don't think they're going to be following the Nightmare trilogy. Warner Brothers are steering from Zack Snyder. Shinder's vision of Black Adam teams up with the JSA.
Works
Dr.
for
Fate
Warner
dies.
Brothers, by the way.
Dr. Fate dies near the second act. Osiris from the Black Adam family will be playing the villain. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
the villain, Mary
know the
Marvel,
villain.
is not to be seen, nor is
That's
Shazam.
the problem with leaks is people just type it and then if it changes, they say, "Oh, stuff changed."
Or any other
That's
similar
exactly
heroes.
it.
Darkseid doesn't show up. It looks like Black Atom will play.
Wait, did people think Darkseid
Was
gonna
this
be in
translated?
I don't know.
I think it was, yeah. Because
Did people actually think Darkseid was going to be in the film though? Like,
He's just putting that in there just to probably get more attention. Like, oh no, Darkseid. Amanda Waller shows up with
Ray
Superman
Porter?
and welcomes him to the city, but we have no Henry Cavill. It looks like they're also confirming that the Flash leaks were Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill and be brought back. What? Public reception looks mixed. No other additional cameos. It followed the formula. Nothing too crazy. This isn't going to be crazy.
Well, I know this guy is not a writer for Warner Brothers with that sentence.
Yeah,
we got.
there's no periods. There's
no commas. Or there's one right there.
There's a couple of commas.
I know. They're like, "Hurry! Are you done with that script? Hurry up!"
There's
And
no
actually,
periods.
there's no period at the end, so we're still waiting for the rest.
It's just a constant statement.
We're working with a script. No, it's still the treatment.
It's still the treatment. Yeah. So based on what I'm reading here, this is what I give this.
This is bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what it is. This is a bunch of bullshit. Andrew, are you excited for Black Adam?
No. I was
go.
before the trailer dropped.
You just crushed
like
Anthony.
Hey, you didn't crush me.
No.
Crushed him.
I think the
crushed his
suits look
Does he
amazing.
look like a bitch?
Yo, chill.
No, I think the suits look amazing in it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the acting will be fine. I don't think anything in the but like when I watched it, I was expecting not necessarily Man of Steel level of editing or nothing, but like it felt like, oh, cool, summer goofy like 2000s movie, and I was like, okay, I guess, and nothing in it really blew me away. The tone of it was very odd, and I remember watching it going, man, I was so pumped for this until they dropped the trailer, and now I'm like, eh. Like,
They're like, have
okay.
you seen Green Lantern?
Yeah.
No.
Green Lantern?
I could feel you on that, certainly, because it was kind of like there was a couple of cool things in it, but it also, as long as we've been waiting for our first trailer, like the more, because we did we had a show
trailer.
Yeah, we did a show
yeah.
where we had like I didn't get to watch it until like in the evening because I had to work.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a show and we watched it, and as I've watched it since then, it's kind of underwhelming considering how long we waited for some kind of first glimpse of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like a what we've gotten glimpses.
It felt like
but I'm
what,
talking about his own.
It
trailer.
felt like what we would get for like a TV spot after we've gotten 2 theatrical trailers, like with the tone of it. Like, I was just hoping for like some real story, maybe like mentioning of the wizard giving him his powers and like more extending stuff. But it's just like. Action. The suits look great. That's all I can really say. Suits look awesome.
I'm pretty sure we'll get. I'm pretty sure we'll get.
Hope Dr. Fate
get a trailer.
This is my favorite.
In a couple weeks.
Dr. Fate. According to meme maker 69420, he dies.
Oh man.
Yeah, don't listen to me.
Yeah, let's kill off the one guy.
It's very legitimate.
But with them announcing that they're going to have a panel at Comic-Con in a couple of weeks, so I think we'll probably get a. Hopefully something.
Dude,
real.
You can't show up at Comic-Con and not give us.
You can't show up empty-handed. You know what I mean? I mean, look. Do I think it's gonna happen? I don't know. Probably not. I hope. But to me, I mean, it's one thing to show off, Black Adam, but if you want to make the biggest splash of all, I mean, you got to have Henry Cavill show up. You got to have him show up. I mean, if
they drop that at Comic-Con, where like there's a scene and it shows Black Adam and then you see Superman land and it's Henry Cavill, they'd be getting some attention for that.
I would even care or prefer that they just like walk out on stage just in plain clothes, like, oh, okay, thank you. We were in the dark until now.
Yeah, even
been in the dark for years until
we need one more person we got to bring out. I can't remember who was it, and then boom, whatever his role is in the film, I don't want to see it until I see it on the screen. I just want to know. Okay, you guys didn't, you had an opportunity that you didn't like miss or shelve or squander. I mean, The Rock is definitely big enough to where he could sway the studio, whatever he's seeing. I mean, he's that big of a.
He's
star.
Huge. I mean, look at it. Hey, show us your biceps. He's huge.
No, I feel the same because I think we talked about it the other day where we were talking about if that Comic-Con that's what happens, that would be absolute. They don't have to really show us anything as far as footage wise.
They would win fucking Comic-Con, dude. People would. I'm sorry, I don't know what else like Marvel.
The other thing
anybody else could bring.
The other opportunity.
Wakanda Forever is gonna. I'm sure they're gonna announce something about Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
It's in development. We know nothing about it.
But that's their next big movie. Is
it
Wakanda
is
Forever.
Yeah.
So
I think we talked about. I think one of the opportunities that it would be like we just said. It'd be fucking fire to see Henry come out on that stage with The Rock. But more realistically, the one thing I hope they don't miss an opportunity for is to have Zachary Levi and The Rock. It's something. Considering
if you're gonna have both panels there, you have to have them on the same at the same time.
They both have panels there, so like
at the very
it's not
least,
virtual.
If they do what Anthony is saying, and they walk over and they stare at each other, and on the big screen behind them they just show the Superman logo, that would be huge alone right there. It's like, but
you'd still be like, who are they?
Still, it's better than nothing.
Who are they bringing?
And to me, if they show off a big logo, then it's not just going to be a faceless cameo. It can't be if you tease anything Superman and yet you give them a faceless cameo, then that's going to be so underwhelming, and you're going to catch so much heat.
They've already done neck down.
They done neck down.
They've done in the shadow. So now they need behind the back. They need a back shot of the cape. But you can't tell the guy's face, Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, I think what they're going to do is just show the emblem. You know what I mean? Like just show his chest. And they'll be like, boom, that's it. You know what I mean? But even then, to me, that's not enough. Like, I want to see, I want to see the face. I want to see Henry Cavill on screen. Yeah. It just sucks, man. I mean,
they really do, especially with Warner Brothers Discovery becoming this new thing or whatever. They have an opportunity to sort of like I've always said, to build customer. Confidence back. No customer service. Customer confidence in their product. They have no confidence in their product. Yeah. Like nobody really knows what to expect, or like at least with Marvel, they have a plan. Star Wars, they have a plan. You might not enjoy or like the plan, but at least they have it, and you can reference it, and you can say, okay, I know what's up. I know what's going to happen. Over here, you got Michael Keaton, 70-year-old Batman. Like what? Well, I don't really know how many.
My casual like comic fans, they're already checked out of DC. Like people I know in my life that are just casual, so like
It's kinda-
I
it's
don't know
kinda-
I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't care about their stuff anymore. It's like,
Exactly.
dang, so
And it's sort of like
but it's true.
I have shirts like this, and I'm like, I just want to go out and like, oh shit, dude, that's fucking dope, whatever. It's, I feel like I want to wear a trench coat, in the fucking 105-degree weather, just like,
Yeah.
I want to go out there and say, hey, I support this, but I can't support something that I don't know. It's like, what? Give me something that's tangible. Give me something that's like, okay, here's the plan. Here's what's going on. This is what's going on with the Flash movie. This is what's going on with the fucking Aquaman.
And that's the biggest problem is that they don't want to give away anything about what they're planning, because I mean, to me, it sounds like they have probably several plans in place and they don't really know which way they're going.
Their plan is wait and see. That's their plan.
One
whichever
movie
thing
at a
works,
time.
we're gonna say that's what we're going forward with. Because I mean, it still bugs me that we're not just doing an actual Flashpoint. Like,
hello, Homelander.
Well, I mean, what bugs me is that we're not even doing a regular Flash movie to build up to Flashpoint.
I get that, but they're so
Yeah.
far behind. I would be okay with just an actual
yes.
Flashpoint. But the thing they're doing is like just weird. Everything
They're doing
you hear
it.
about
It's a
like, what are we
CW
doing?
Hail Mary.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is. I mean,
Yeah.
if they just would have done, to be honest, like if they would have done a Flashpoint movie, and like even if it's called The Flash, Flashpoint or whatever, and you had Jeffrey Dean Morgan coming back to play,
Absolutely, he would crush it too.
what's his name, Thomas
Batman.
Wayne.
Yeah.
Let
Batman.
alone just
Yeah.
having that alone would be
Literally.
so huge. I would,
Yeah.
as much as I love Michael Keaton as Batman, I mean, I'm a huge Keaton fan. I mean, I grew up watching Batman '89, Batman Returns as a kid, like
Sure.
multiple times every day. I would, and I nothing against Michael Keaton. I think he's great, but I would love to have seen Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas
I would have
Wayne
preferred to
in
have
this
them
movie.
both in the film. I would have preferred like
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is the one that's in the Flashpoint universe, but then he jumps over and sees or interacts with Michael Keaton for like a scene, and then moves on. Like, oh shit, no, that exists. Because he's a 70-year-old Batman. What really can you do with him?
But see,
so-
at this point, like
Agreed.
when you have
Utilize
a
the
Keaton-
cameos the right way.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Make it an interesting, like, oh wow, holy shit,
Yeah,
they got
'cause-
Michael Keaton back.
Because from all the
for,
stuff
like,
I've,
a little thing.
I mean, obviously, who knows if the leaks are true, but like,
right?
they have Ben Affleck and they have Michael Keaton, and apparently they don't interact ever. And it's like you don't even have two Batmans that are in the same movie interact with each other. That sounds just like
It's
the
crazy.
biggest waste
After
of
you
time.
just had No Way Home, where
Yeah.
you had 3 Spider-Man,
he saw the money
interacting,
there.
and all
and
the
they
villains.
hugged it out. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, you don't want to see Batman hugging another Batman. That's kind of weird, but
No, yeah, you can't do that.
like, no, we don't hug, we dap.
Batman don't hug.
Batman don't hug.
Yeah,
Not my Batman. No,
My Batman doesn't kill, he hugs.
he hugs it out. But no, it's just, oh gosh, we can go on for days about this. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but in reality, though, I mean, look, I really wanted to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne in this story because I think it's still a compelling, cool story, and to see Lauren Cohen playing Martha Wayne, who would be the Joker in this world. Ryan hates
Yeah.
hates this
I just
paradox.
think it's not great writing, like Lex Luthor being a part of Smallville. I think that she could have been a support, like a Robin of that universe, or like a Batwoman of that universe.
so I
To
was
make her
watching,
Joker doesn't make any sense to me.
I was watching Flashpoint Paradox a few days ago.
Yeah.
And just seeing, the characters in the animated movie, just seeing characters like Deathstroke, seeing
Yeah.
Black Manta show
Yeah.
up, seeing Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
To
why they don't
see-
just emulate that for live action is my
exactly to see Steve Trevor get
Oh,
killed.
did Steve
by-
Trevor tell you that?
but to see Steve Trevor get killed by Diana as
Fucking
that was
have
awesome.
Diana chop off Mara's head. Everybody would love
Yeah.
that. Like, oh, Amber Heard's head. Look at that. So
And that's the thing is
Not wrong.
that they're not going to. I mean, I don't know how much of that there are or aren't going to do, but like,
More
to be
art
honest,
than art.
I have more aren't. Like, I have no idea, and like, I don't even think there is a Themysciran Atlantean war happening in this
Yeah.
movie. I don't even. think it's
no. There is a Themysciran on a bus.
on a bus.
Side of the
We
bus.
know that for a fact. So
Oh,
we saw a
yeah,
picture of
that's
her on the
terrible
bus.
leak, yeah.
But
That's
it's
it.
just crazy because instead of having that.
I mean, Henry Cavill, if they used him even as like where he's under, with CG and everything, making him look like he's been captured by the government,
Mhm.
like all that stuff would have been off the charts to see in live action.
Well, I mean, like they did with Winter Soldier, not Winter Soldier. I'm sorry, Captain America in the first one when they, sort of took the muscles away.
Or even,
and that would've been...
even Robert Downey Jr. in Endgame when he comes back from space and he's like CG'd skinnier, malnourished.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something like that with Henry, and I mean, they should have just literally copied the animated.
They should have just done it.
Yeah,
They
haven't stuck the landing, and I don't think they ever will.
I mean, you can change it a little bit, but for the most part, you had an opportunity to have a shit ton of cameos that would have been so cool. And now, I mean, there are going to be cameos,
universe.
But it's just like, oh my gosh, like, like how do you screw that up?
Like it's I think because it spans several books, I think
that's how you screw it up.
Those guys screwed it up.
I think as many of the books as it spans, it's a fire story, but like when they put that shit into the animated film, Flashpoint Paradox is way up as far as animated like comic book movie. It's dope. Imagine seeing it live action where Bruce Wayne blows fucking what's his name's brains out. Reverse Flash is right there. And you see the hole in his head, and dude, that would be.
And especially Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing that role too.
And you'd have Margot Robbie playing Yo-Yo and
Yo-Yo.
I mean,
you would have had Ray Fisher Cyborg as a major part in that, and you can actually. It's funny too because in this movie you could have made Ray Fisher look like bigger and bulkier or whatever, because it's a different timeline. So like he can have a whole different design, and it wouldn't matter because it's like, hey, this is a paradox. You know what I mean, like it doesn't really. But I mean, look, do I want to see Supergirl and Batgirl? I did want to see those characters get developed, but not at the cost of losing, Batman and Superman in my live action theatrical movies. I just think that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's like we're watching the B Team. It's like we're watching, It's
like they don't have the rights, but they have the rights to all of their characters.
Yeah,
they have the rights.
They have all.
Weird.
And
it's so weird.
That's like if Marvel was like, okay, we can't do the X-Men. I don't want to do the Avengers.
It's the same thing with like the Hulk.
with New Mutants. You know what I mean? It's like starting off with that group. You're like, why would you start off with that group? You know what I mean? Like, okay.
It's like the X-Men, the Hulk, Spider-Man, when they couldn't use them. But that's not the case here. Warner Brothers has full rights to all of that.
All of them.
And they're just like, you know what? Let's do something different because we don't have a spine.
Yeah, it's weird.
Let's do something different, but not really different because Michael Keaton's here.
Hey, Michael, can you get Keaton on the phone?
Well, and that's the thing too. Is
tell
that
me
now
the
that we know
dollar sign and I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. And now that
we
know
he had to have gotten paid fucking Harrison Ford money, to come over and get into these suits again because they're not comfortable, and he's gonna be sweating fucking buckets. And at 70 years old, that might, they might have to have like a fucking medic team right offset.
Like got a camel pack on.
Yeah, he's got a camel pack.
But no, it's just I can't. I mean, Anthony, when you were over there and you had all your gear on, it's 100 and whatever degrees. I mean, are you just sweating the entire time?
Yeah,
pretty much. Andrew's been there before too, man. Yeah.
It's hot, right?
It's ridiculous.
You don't stop. You just sweat buckets and you keep the most satisfying thing. People always say is their comparison for like how women with the bra taking off at the end of the day, taking off the vest.
Oh,
at the end
dude.
It is the most satisfying feeling. You
and it makes that noise. You take it like, let's fucking
taking that off.
I think
so
to sum it all up every time is the when I say you wake up because you have to drink tons of water, and so if you wake up at like 1:30 to go take a piss, it's 110 degrees at night. In the middle of the night, it's 110, and you're just like, I just got to deal with it. So
now, when you were taking a piss, did you like visually see your piss like evaporate as you were going?
That hot, sounds like it's gone. The surface of the sun.
If they had us over there and it was that hot,
you're like, yo, check this out.
You would have probably just died walking out.
I mean, like in the daytime, if you're out in like full sun, is he just like bearing down on you? Like,
it's hot. It's just. I think I'd say I don't want to say you get used to it because you never do, but at the same time, once you've been there for like 5 months,
what to expect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get, and then by the time you leave, you're like, holy shit, you get back home and you're like, damn, is it wintertime? No, it's still July here, but over there it's fucking yeah. No, it's
you guys ever lose it? Like did you ever see any other soldiers who just like could not take the heat?
Yeah.
Like where it kind of breaks them down. Like I can't do this, dude.
You
It's
see
too
people
hot.
be heat casualties. I mean, legitimate like pass out, blackout. I mean, you see all of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And plus they're wearing gear too. So that's gonna be even hotter.
You're talking 90 pounds on your body plus your body,
or more depending on what cruiser weapon they're carrying. 'Cause some people get.
Well,
240.
240. A 240. Yeah.
Anthony was carrying around his Gatling gun the whole time.
Oh no!
He had a Tommy gun.
Yeah,
bro. If they gave us
pick it up,
guns,
Sherfield.
Holy shit, miniguns! Holy shit, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Wow. But no, it's
he had a chain and it was tied around his waist, and he had to pull the tank.
I don't even know where we're going anymore.
I know exactly.
This is what happens.
This is what happens. So to segue off of that, there was a new movie that came out this past weekend. Most of you guys know what it is. Some of you have seen it, some of you haven't, and that is Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't know what Skytech is, but what was that? What does it say? Sky Etch? I don't know what that means.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I just grabbed it off the internet. But anyway.
Oh,
so
you know what?
That's gonna get Oscars, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah.
That looks like it might be an advertisement for a certain type of theater. Like
now, guys, do you think that this was going to break 1 billion?
I think it's likely, but I don't know if it'll beat Morbius. It's a tough one, you know.
Do you think that Thor will ever meet Morbius?
At this point, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? It'll be worthy too. Why not?
And I guess Loki's not coming back. They've split him. He's got a second season of Loki.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's not going to see Thor.
They're currently shooting. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the MCU music, pumping in the background. So let's talk about Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, obviously, they never actually played the song in the movie. Andrew, did you get a chance? You didn't see it, right?
No,
you don't plan
I
on
will
it
wait
either.
for streaming or a quality enough rip to watch.
Hey, the honesty
not-
is fire. Yes.
I
Yes.
am just-
Yes.
The trailers didn't interest me. It never did
thank you,
anything to pull
Megadeuce.
me in.
What's up?
What up, man?
I don't know. It never did anything to really interest me. And from everything I've heard from people I trust's opinion, they have said it is one of the worst, if not the worst, that Marvel has brought to the table.
I will say this, and I did see
Oh, here you go.
it's fire. Oh,
What?
Whoa.
Anthony.
What?
Whoa. That's not
Collector's
accurate.
edition ordered.
Oh, man.
Steelbook.
Wow.
Are they gonna make a steelbook? Let's be
Are they
honest.
gonna make if
They're not even gonna make a director's cut based on what Taika Waititi is saying, which we'll
well,
get to
Anthony
now.
got the steelbook and his thoughts for it were
It's fire.
So look, I wasn't even gonna see the movie, and I said on the show that I was not gonna see the movie, but my nephew was staying with us, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to go do something?" I was like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "You want to go to the movies?" I'm like, "You want to go see Thor?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go see it. I want to see it." I was like, "All right, let's go." He's 14.
What did he
so
think? What did he think?
He thought I was stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got in the car. I'm like, "What'd you think?" He was like, "I thought it was kind of lame." I was like, "Oh wow, that sucks."
You should have said, "All right, I'll take my money."
You
back.
were like, oh wow, that's tough because I thought it was fire. That's
No,
what
you know what? Obviously, there were some parts that I liked, but overall,
But-
it was not that good of a movie. It
you
just
laugh?
had a lot of what?
Did you laugh?
I laughed a couple times.
What I heard
Okay,
is like
'cause-
a lot of
'cause
times.
Anthony-
It's fire. No.
No,
What I heard is people are laughing, and then most of the time after the laugh, they're like, "That was stupid." Like, it's like,
Well, the couple of times that I did laugh, like I didn't even laugh, but I chuckled. I was like, that was pretty good. Like, and I don't want to spoil anything. I mean,
Oh, well,
obviously,
it's just
I don't know.
spoilers down
Spoil-
below.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, one of the times was when
Here,
First
I'll
off-
put this up real quick. There we go. Spoilers.
Spoilers,
We
spoilers.
warned you.
One of the time, first of all, Russell Crowe made a complete joke of him in the whole fucking scene
That's
that
what
he
I
was
heard.
in.
Hello. What
He
the
was
hell?
Zeus. It was so fucking dumb. I was just like, once
Hey,
he got
in no shape whatsoever.
Oh yeah, bro.
I mean, that metal thing.
You remember?
I
You
mean,
remember how fire shape he was in for like Man of Steel
Yeah.
when he was playing Jor-El?
Yeah.
None of that.
Well,
That
that's
was
what-
10 years ago, right?
Here's what's sad though, like you hear Russell Crowe's gonna play Zeus, and you're like, oh, that's gonna be off the charts. And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh,
exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh man, it was the whole entire thing. The only thing that I thought, like I said, was it's out of context unless you've seen it, but he goes, "Who's talking over there?" And then Korg goes, "Them dudes," or he's like, "Them guys." I thought that was pretty funny. Like
That was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. But like everything after that, no. The entire thing, and the obviously the point of that whole scene was they wanted to get Thor, or not Thor's, but Zeus's Thunderbolt. Yeah, no, I think the movie looked pretty good.
Oh
Is
shit!
there an
He's being
actual
told.
reason
You better
why
not
Jane
say that
Foster
about
was
that
worthy
movie.
in the movie.
I mean, this is him right here. I mean, like nothing against Russell Crowe, but like, I mean, you could see
He looks more
down
like
underneath his
Claus.
arm. I mean, he was already puffing out of the armor there.
Ah.
But yeah,
So,
he
do you
wasn't
think
in
that's
any
a
shape.
fat suit, or is he really? that
No,
big?
I think he's just that big. 'Cause he's not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know personally, but I would imagine he just showed up. They probably say, "Hey, we're gonna put a thing of armor over your body." Doesn't matter. But I was surprised they didn't
I
give him
will
something
say-
to cover that up.
It looks like
I'm
it-
Zeus Max.
his scenes look like they could have been filmed within like a day or two. Honestly,
Is there
Um,
actual backstory why Jane Foster is magically worthy now? That's my
Yes.
only.
yes,
there is.
they
Yes.
do that.
Okay.
I think
You said
They
Um,
never showed us anything in the actual MCU prior to this why she would ever be worthy.
no.
So-
There's a they do give backstory. Do I think it's 1,000% like Plaza? Like, oh, I don't know,
Gotcha.
but they do
It,
give
it
you.
felt
they-
very rushed. They
Yeah.
kind of
Oh, yeah.
rushed through that. Like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
this is why this is how she has her powers because of this. I mean, because essentially, I mean, like you know, as most of us already know, and we said spoilers anyway. So, she has cancer. She has stage 4 cancer, and so she
Yeah.
starts to she's looking at all kinds of different ways
Mhm.
of trying to
'Cause she's a
cure
scientist,
cure
so,
herself.
yes.
She's a scientist.
Mhm.
And then
Cure
she looks
herself with
over and she
superhero
starts to think about the you know, the Viking mythology, and then she finds, you know, she looks up Mjolnir, is the name of Thor's hammer,
Yeah.
Mjolnir.
and it says that whoever has it has, you know, immaculate health and all this stuff. So she's like, oh wow. And so the original one that got destroyed by Helena, is that her
Mhm.
name, Helena? I think, or
Yes,
Hela,
yeah.
Helena. The original one that got destroyed, they have that at New Asgard in a in like a
It's a tourist attraction.
yeah, it's a tourist
It's a tourist
attraction. And that's the other thing too, I thought was kind of stupid. Like New Asgard is like a tourist attraction. People go there and they have tours and they do play.
Yeah, I
it
saw
was
the
really
stupid
corny.
like ice cream Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, you
Yeah.
murdered my whole family.
Infinity
Let's make an ice
cones.
cream
It's
shop.
called Infinity cones. I was
yeah,
like,
Infinity
bro,
Cones.
relax.
But to me again, I was like, why are we doing this for? Like you're turning the Avengers into a joke,
Mhm.
you know?
Well,
And
that's why he was hired.
But the thing is that they were kind of commercializing the Avengers so much in this movie that like it was like treading on like Vought territory. You know what I mean? Like where it was like it felt like they're turning superheroes into a commercialized
Right.
Mhm.
version, which I was like, but they weren't. I don't know if they're trying to do it on like I don't think they were doing it on purpose, but that's how it came across to me at least. I was like, this feels like you're not taking this very seriously anymore.
It's you know, the movies that have come out since the big last two, which would be Infinity War, and then you have Endgame and stuff like that. I think I don't know if any of you guys are watching Miss Marvel. They do
I
something
tried.
sort of similar. I enjoy the show. I think it's good, but I think they do this type of thing because there's an Avengers Con or whatever the fuck the Comic Con thing that they have in the first episode, but they don't take it to the level where it feels like
Yeah, and Miss Marvel,
Like
it makes sense because it's supposed to be like a Comic-Con, and they're
Mhm.
utilizing the Avengers
Yeah.
universe stuff.
Yeah.
That makes a little
Yeah.
more sense.
it
Than, like,
doesn't. It's almost like with this movie.
Didn't they have a play in,
If you
in
like
the Hawkeye
it sums
thing?
it sums
was
it all
horrible.
up.
Yes, they did.
That was horrible.
I didn't get past the first episode of that thing.
That show was awful.
Infinity Cones thing, like the ice cream place, is like a perfect like representation of how they treat what happened. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this was a global, like, very bad event that happened in your universe.
and not
now
only
it's,
that,
it's funny
it's-
now.
that
It's
ice-
supposed to be
It's built in Asgard, right? New Asgard, right?
yeah. Yeah,
The Asgardians got murked at the beginning.
a lot of them.
Yeah,
75%
like,
of them got
Thanos,
murdered.
and then
let's
you-
make a funny ice cream
and then
shop. Like,
You have the Infinity Gauntlet, is the Infinity Stones, and it's not just the gauntlet. Like to me, it felt like that
He's
was
holding
that was
the cone.
Thanos'
The
arm.
gauntlet
Yeah.
has a cone in his
I was like,
hand,
what
so
in the
it's a
world?
fucking- Yeah. No,
To
I
me-
think. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it's man, I as I watched and look, for the most part, the movie looked good. There was a couple of shots as far as, and people have already said it, when it comes to like, if they're still using the green screen type of shit or blue screen or whatever, some of that shit just didn't vibe well with the live action. I thought Christian Bale was fire. I thought he was not utilized enough by any means.
Who was the best actor in the entire movie? I mean, it, like
Yes,
his,
yeah, he was.
His character was the only character that was taken seriously.
Yeah. But
probably because he probably told him no to all the shit he tried to get him to do. He was probably like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and also
like he was the opposite of what he was.
That's what I'm saying is the more time they could have given to Christian Bale in this movie, they gave it to that fucking 40-minute scene in Zeus's thing, which was it's terrible.
Well, I keep hearing this thing about goats, singing goats or some shit.
Yo.
The goat.
Okay, yes, please help me.
They weren't that bad. I mean, they were
No.
just comic relief.
No,
I was like, whatever.
Almost the worst part of the goats. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it was
They-
it was
so
just
they-
stupid. It was
They do
unnecessary.
some shit at the beginning. This is spoilers. I'm not going to go too much. So basically, the story starts, and it's basically where we saw it at the end game. Thor's rolling with the Guardians, and they do shit. And basically, the story that they try to tell is they get to certain places to help people. Thor doesn't help, and then the Guardians end up getting their asses kicked. They're like, Thor, we need your help to beat this person. So Thor joins the fight and ends up, tearing shit up. The scene we saw, like the little picture we saw of him doing a split, when you actually see it in real life, it's 1000% way worse than the fucking split. It
So
is
it's really dumb.
horrible.
Yeah,
Dude,
it
the
was
split
fire.
was just, I watched it, and then
Is it
the
fire,
camera
though?
zooms out, and you see what he's doing the split for, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
The only cool thing about it was that they were playing "Welcome to the Jungle" by Guns N'
oh
Roses.
yeah, see the music was
and so
fire.
the
though.
music was
I
fire.
can't hate on
But
Guns N' Roses at
again,
all.
they were trying to do what he did in Ragnarok. Was he played Led Zeppelin in that first
Yeah.
battle scene, and he was trying to do the same thing again with Guns N' Roses. And you could tell I mean, they played 3 or 4 different Guns N'
Yeah.
Roses songs throughout the whole
Yeah,
movie.
and
So that
one
was
of
the
the kids,
inspiration.
one of the kids actually had on a Guns N' Roses t-shirt. Like if you could catch it, it's like it's a real short little piece. But it's
like
if you want to wait till it, because it's probably going to hit Disney Plus in probably
Yeah.
like a month. Wait.
Oh
if
yeah,
you-
I'm
Right.
definitely waiting.
he
Yeah,
does
yeah.
some stuff in the movie where he's like,
I'll watch it.
where he goes, I'm going to bestow my power upon you. And he gives his power to somebody else. I want to be like, that would have been helpful if you'd have done that shit in Endgame when you
Yeah.
had Captain America and Iron Man. Like, here, I'm going to bestow my power on you guys. So now you guys are also Thunder Gods. Like, oh, tight.
Yeah.
You probably would have took down Thanos a little easier. I watched it. I was like, what? There's just a lot of inconsistencies. Like, I mean, like, even towards the very end, when they're in that place where with the standing water, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, why are they all there? One person got in there first, yet all of them are in there.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
one person enters his magical room, and then all of a sudden everything goes white, and then like everyone's in the room. I'm like, wait a minute, like I don't understand. Why are they all here? Like they don't even like each other. It was just weird.
Yeah.
But definitely overall, Christian Bale did a good job.
Mhm. He was up.
Yeah, he was dope. He was
Mhm.
actually really good in this movie. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
And,
he delivered, and he wasn't gonna mail it in. He was like, no, I'm gonna do my role,
mhm.
and you guys do whatever the fuck you
Actually,
want. but
I
I'm doing my
I
role.
wish they would have expanded, because the movie starts with him, and I wish they would have expanded that another 5-10 minutes,
Yes,
because it was
Yes.
dope. It was pretty dope, man.
like his
Like,
introduction
to
was
give
like,
you,
wait,
like his
what?
drive behind what he's doing, why he is the God Killer. That's
So so does his character have anything to do with the symbiotes?
No, not
'Cause,
at all.
That's what I was hearing. I heard that
No.
his weapon or whatever.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Which I was looking for anything. I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it, but there was really absolutely nothing I had to do with that.
no.
But overall, Anthony, what would you give Thor: Love and Thunder? 1 out of 10. What number would you give it in terms of how good it was?
Probably about a 4, man.
Yep. I would say the same thing. 4.
I go 4, man. It's
4.
Yeah.
And it
It's,
was Thor 4. Yeah, I would
It's
say
Where do
just-
you
4.
rank it on the rest of the MCU movies? Like where do you place
Oh,
Yo, I will say I did see a lot of people talking. I still think I would watch this again before I watch Captain Marvel again.
yeah.
That's for sure.
I
That
would
is
say
for sure.
yes because there was a lot more happening in this movie in terms of like possible
What
Easter
about-
eggs, characters. It's easier to watch because it's more
Is
lighthearted.
Black
so
Widow, or is Captain Marvel both of you guys' least favorite? I'm just trying to understand where your scale is.
It is.
It is
mine.
for me.
yeah, I would
Yes.
say that's probably my least favorite.
So
Visually,
would you
it looks
watch
great?
which one?
but
Which one did you like better, Ragnarok or this one?
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
yes.
I would
Because
watch
I've seen a lot of people
Ragnarok
put
over
this
this
one
any
above
day.
Ragnarok.
It's
Like,
it's
on-
and just real quick
Rank.
before we move on, just to sum up my thoughts, and I was thinking about this like as the movie was winding down, and we were waiting for the credits to see the mid-credit scenes and whatever the post-credit scenes and stuff.
Were they even good?
oh,
Oh, yikes.
It's fire. It was funny because
Was
one
there
of the-
2 of them? I saw the first one.
No, there's one at the end. There's one at the very end.
At the
Yeah.
very
What
end.
are
Was
they?
it-
If we're talking spoilers, I'll tell you. Okay,
Spoilers,
so
yeah.
the middle one is whatever happens when Thor goes to get the lightning bolt from Zeus. The middle credit scene, Zeus is talking to someone, and you don't see who it is for a minute, and he's like, "Yo, Thor has to pay." Basically, he's saying that, and then the camera turns, and it's his son Hercules, and he's standing there
yeah.
like, "Yo, I'm about to fucking give it to Thor, whatever." Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Yo, I'll tell you
cool.
what, when they showed that shit, there was a kid in front of us lost his fucking mind. I was like, like literally he was
now
flipping.
was
I
it
like,
Hercules from the Disney movie?
No.
I would have lost my mind for that.
Yeah.
It was all animated.
Yeah, if it turned and it was an
Hercules,
animated
Hercules.
dude sitting there, I was like, yo, let's
Actually, the one from the animated movie is Heracles. So-
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
But,
and what was the
and then
last one? What was the last one?
one was it shows Jane show up in Valhalla. She shows up, and who's there to meet her but fucking Heimdall, bro. He meets her at the bridge or whatever and
Nice.
talks to her for a bit, and then it just goes off. I thought
Which
that was
kinda
pretty
gives
cool.
her a conclusion, like she
Well,
moved on.
it kind of I can't remember the dialogue that they say to each other, but it's pretty much like she'll be back, bro. That's
Oh,
pretty
okay,
cool.
okay. So
Yeah,
just like Ben
it's
Affleck.
like, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's but I think like I was saying, what I was thinking about was that like you had Thor, and obviously Kenneth Branagh directed that first one, and you had the second.
Yeah, and I
can't
like the
remember-
first one.
Yes, and
Good
the,
movie.
Yeah.
the Dark World. I like the Dark World was fine.
I like it in the dark world.
I like it. I like it. The dark world.
I like it.
I know.
I like it.
Originally, Patty was supposed to direct that one, but she ended up leaving
Creative
the project.
differences, and they put her on
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron. and
but
then
I like both
creative
those
differences.
movies. It's funny that once Taika took over for Ragnarok, and look, like you asked the question, which one do we prefer, Ragnarok? That doesn't mean I think Ragnarok's fire. I just prefer it over.
I
this
like
one.
Ragnarok.
I think
I don't.
when
I thought
you-
it was good.
There's some funny parts in it, but the movie,
I like
the
Thor
story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thor
Thor
one is
one's the best
dope,
one.
dude. It's
Yeah.
fucking. Yeah. And so like, if you look at his arc, really, you had the first two movies. Taika takes over, and then all of a sudden, the Russo brothers, when they put him in Infinity War, in my opinion, he's the best part of that movie. And he gets in that movie, and he's the original Thor from the first one.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Russo brothers was like, yeah, we see what you did, Taika. We're not about to make him do that silly shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring it back to being Thor.
Oh
He
yeah,
had the fire
that's the last
scene.
time he was good.
But he was still
Yes.
Fat Thor, wasn't he?
No. We're
No,
talking about
Infinity
Infinity
War.
War. Infinity
Yeah,
War.
Infinity War.
The
In
first
Endgame,
one
he was Fat Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay,
like,
right.
it's so funny to see that dynamic of Ragnarok releasing and then Infinity War coming out, and Thor is two totally different Thors in both of
Yeah.
those
Right.
movies. And then they take him back to this shit when they come with Love and Thunder. So
Gotcha.
I'll say that it's
Did-
just
did-
funny to me that the Russo brothers, when they were doing Infinity War, directing this movie and writing it and things of that nature, that they thought he ain't about to be like that in our movie. We're
Yeah.
about to have him be
Yeah.
Thor, the fucking God of Thunder, and he's gonna do all this cool shit, and he's gonna be like his like. Just think about his persona when he gets to Thanos at the end of Infinity War.
yeah.
And he hits him. I told you would pay for this. Oh,
Yeah.
you would die for this. And it's
Yeah.
serious, and it's such a magnitude.
What about the
moment. And
Korg guy? Was like Taika's character? Was that even?
I didn't think he was that. He didn't. In my opinion, he didn't really bother me until the end. Toward the third act, I was like, "What are we doing here? Like,
get out of here, record." All right, and so it was. He was.
He didn't.
Besides
really
that one joke that I thought he was good in, I was just like, "Oh man!" It's so. That's just to wrap up my thoughts. I don't want to go too long on it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't ever see this. Let me add this on here. You never see this type of Thor in the movie, which is
hundreds of them.
Yeah. And then later on, after this, you see him go through all of the ships that they drop.
Yeah, effortlessly
blowing them off. It's fire. So yeah. I think it's watching it. It's kind of hard to see him in Love and Thunder, and it's like, man, I've seen him at his greatest, and you guys just didn't capture it for this one. I don't. Yeah,
they didn't.
Do you think? Okay, from watching this, do you think that Taika will come back, or they'll invite him back to make a third?
I hope not.
It probably depends all on how much it makes.
How much?
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah.
I don't think they're gonna care if people say if most people hate it. They're gonna be like, well, it made a lot of money, so.
Yeah,
you know.
So
I just don't know. I just don't know. I hope he doesn't come back because it's like, what's the point?
I want Thor 1 director back.
Are you excited for the Star Wars Taika Waititi movie?
No.
After seeing that,
hell no.
After seeing this, no, I don't see how it could even be possible.
I was like, what's funny?
He doesn't care about the source material.
Well,
what's really funny is there's that one shot in Mandalorian when he's got two biker scouts and they're shooting, they're missing. But then you go back to like the dialogue of like Obi-Wan from episode 4, like, you know, and these blast marks, too accurate for sand people. But then you got sand people in episode 1 that are able to shoot the people on, you know, like with accuracy, that are able to shoot the pod racers going by and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, Taika, the biker scouts can't be that bad a shot.
I know, right?
Come on.
Yeah.
And speaking of Taika Waititi, I mean, we also have this little bit that we're going to transition to. Oh, hey, that's me.
Oh, wow. What a horrible transition.
There we go. Taika Waititi says they will not release the Thor: Love and Thunder deleted scenes featuring Peter Dinklage, Jeff Goldblum, and Lena Headey. I don't want it.
It's Heady.
It's Heady. There's no L in there. I don't want people to see the deleted scenes because they're deleted for a reason. They aren't good enough.
Well, then they should have deleted the whole film.
But it's interesting that they were in this movie because I don't know where the fuck they would have been in this movie.
I don't either. But yeah, the fact that but I think his comments also look. It's funny that he would
knowing him,
say something like this, considering that like there's a major fan base out here who worked to get a director's cut release that was fire.
I don't think anyone cares enough about this, though. I mean,
it's just for him to say.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Well, this comment, there's another one he made where he said
director's cuts aren't very good anywhere.
Yes, they're not good anyway.
Really? Clearly throwing shade, trying to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just his personality. I think he's always like, oh, whatever. But I mean,
yeah. But then you got those people that are like, oh yeah, you go for it. Yeah, that Snyder cut, that was horrible. You know, like this is cinema.
Stupid.
This is cinema.
Fucking stupid.
I mean, anyone who thinks the Snyder cut's worse than the theatrical, like,
I don't know what to say.
Every time I see that, I'm like, dude, how is that even
that?
Possible? Like, how can you even say that? Like, oh yeah, I think theatrical.
They say it just not because it's a coherent.
It's
story.
Out of spite.
They say it because it's out of spite, but also because it was just a popcorn. Don't think turn your brain off flick.
Yeah.
This was another one of those. I mean, this one here. I mean, you literally had to turn off your brain and just like.
I don't know. I think that the target audience just never had their brain turned on in the first place, and that's why when you guys went in, y'all were like, "What the fuck."
I thought you were gonna say that. That's why you guys had a great time. I was like,
jeez.
No, I mean, like obviously there were a couple scenes that there's a few things that I liked about it, but for the most part, it's a very forgettable movie. There's nothing.
I forgot the other scene that I thought. The only other scene that like made me chuckle was when he was like low key trying to.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, Stormbreaker comes around the corner, floats, and looks at him like, "You motherfucker!" Like that shit was funny. Like
I thought was funny, but they played into that way too much.
Yeah, after that,
where I was like in the movie, I was like, "God, we're doing this again."
Yo, the joke was funny 10 minutes ago. Now you're just
the first time it was
funny.
He was
that kind of reminds me of what you're saying.
Like, come here,
of the lady in the 007. She was always, trying to say, I'm the 007, I'm 007 or whatever in the movie. I was like, okay, you've said it once. You don't.
Yeah, but I didn't think her role
wasn't even needed. You could have cut her role completely out and it wouldn't have changed the movie.
Right.
At all.
It didn't dampen the story for me in 007. Well, this one, like they did this whole Stormbreaker's mad at me thing, like what, 3 or 4 times? I want to say
at least, yeah,
where you're just like, oh, we're doing this again. Okay, it doesn't actually talk, so I don't know what we're doing here. But the reason why Jane Foster is Lady Thor makes a lot of sense, because I mean, she went there and she was worthy enough, to hold the hammer. It came back together for her. But then they also describe why it did that, because he told the hammer to do that, like.
He said protect her at all costs.
Yeah, he's like, protect her at all costs.
So I just got to ask about the Stormbreaker thing. So they're giving, like, Stormbreaker a personality?
Well, it is part of Groot, though, right? So
yeah, but it's odd, because I think that would, like, fit if they were trying to make that joke with, like, Doctor Strange and the cloak. Because that is shown it has a personality.
It's kind of like
I bet they would. I bet they would eventually do that.
But I'm just saying they haven't with Stormbreaker, but everything
they haven't established that. That's
never had something that's made it seem like it fits on its own or anything like that.
Like for instance, they're trying to get to this one spot that's very sacred, and they need Stormbreaker is the only thing that can lead them into there. And so after they go in there and they do their thing, afterwards, my nephew thought the same thing. He was like, well, how come when it was done, why didn't they just go back there, use it to get back in there and make another wish? I was like, I don't know.
That's gonna be a Hishy. How it should have ended.
How it should have ended. Yeah, I know. So, but some of the things that he's been saying in the media lately, I think with Taika Waititi, I think he's being extremely sarcastic. But I don't know. I mean, to say no director's cut when you shot a whole bunch of scenes, I mean, that's kind of like, well, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Because it was all shite.
It was all shite.
Yeah. Also, just the straight comment that some of the scenes he cut were 3 different. Peter Dinklage, Lena Headey, and who was the other one?
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. I don't.
There goes some of the budget, and they didn't even put him on screen.
Yeah. Also, I would
have been on camera.
I don't think I could ever cut scenes. I mean, obviously, you have to cut shit. I understand that, but like the way he commented, it was like, oh, they were just bad. Like, yo, fuck you, Lena. Fuck you. All you guys, your scenes were bad. I cut them because you're terrible. Like that's, I hope that's not what he meant by that, but like that's the way he worded it in that comment was, I cut them because they were bad.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've seen Flub and Blunder.
Joey was good, homie. It was horrible.
He said it was
horrible's a good one. I like it.
What up, Joey, man? What's good, homie?
What's up, Joey?
No, but yeah, he saw it yesterday. And he's told me afterwards.
It's just it's not a very memorable. It's not memorable in any way. I mean, if it wasn't a Disney Plus, I would never own it. It's just it is what it is. It's just a grab it.
Like Andrew was saying earlier, I think it could still push a bill. It could. It's just because it's Marvel and it's Thor and it's it's the big midsummer movie.
You got kids that don't look into movies that deep, or girls who just want to see Chris Hemsworth, and they're let's go see it. I think if it makes money, they're gonna say, all right, come back, you made us a lot of money. But we don't care how it was received.
And Jacob McKenzie, what's going on, Jacob? He says Thor 4 cost $250 million because of the volume. Was it too loud?
No, he's talking about the screen.
I know.
Yeah. No, but sometimes it didn't look that good, though.
It didn't look that good. In fact, speaking of which, we do have some breaking news about Thor. So about MCU for that matter. Let's take a look.
Meme maker for
so here it is.
He's back.
So it says working on Marvel. This guy,
I saw this earlier.
Yeah, he said Marvel shows is a push me to leave the VFX industry. They're horrible. They're a horrible client, and I've seen way too many colleagues break down after being overworked while Marvel tightens the purse strings. I mean, that's pretty bad that's bad PR for Marvel Studios to know that they're pushing these guys that hard. And
what I can guarantee happens is they finish all their production. When they get to post, they've burned way more money than they should have burned, and now their budget is dwindling. And then they're pushing these guys to the limit, wanting them to touch up stuff. They're saying, "Well, we can't pay you more, but you got to do it. You're already under contract," and all this kind of. Yeah. I know they're just not caring about the post production thing. They're doing things like, I don't know, bringing Jeff Goldblum on to cut him from a scene, and now your VFX guy's not getting paid anything. Comparatively,
it's like great. Thanks a lot.
He wasted a. It's brutal. Man, you got to treat the guys behind the scenes with respect, because they're the ones that create that final product.
I mean, imagine like doing the VFX for a lot of these scenes, and they're like, "Yeah, we cut it." You're just like, "Great, I'm glad I spent all that time making that." And again, we're talking about Stephen Neeson. Like somebody actually like animated that and did that work and was like, "Yeah, this sucks." Well, who knows what they thought, you know?
I mean, things get cut like in every movie, you know, even VFX. Like even the Star Wars project I worked on, a couple of VFX shots didn't make it to the final. But when you're rushing people and not paying them what they deserve, and then expecting them to deliver the quality content, and then even worse when people roast the VFX online, and the person's like, "If you only knew, they gave me 1 day to do this entire shot, but you guys don't know that." Like, or whatever the case is.
So on the flip side of things, so Marvel, this is not good PR for Marvel that they're pushing the VFX teams too hard, and some are actually quitting. On the flip side of things, here's a VFX artist who shows his experience working with Zack Snyder. And it says here, let's pull this up. He goes, "I worked on it on one of his shows once, and he came to the studio and spent like an hour and a half or two talking to the whole crew, explaining the movie from the beginning to the end. LOL. He literally went through every scene, top to bottom. That never ever happens in VFX. Most of us VFX people are nothing more than peons to most directors to be ground down into dust. But he took a lot of time out of his day to talk to us and actually treat us like human beings. It's just unheard of in this industry. Anyway, he seems like a super fun dude that's super into what he's making. I would totally work on one of his shows again if the opportunity comes up. Unfortunately, the studio I'm currently at hasn't worked with him before, so the odds are probably slim. I think he gets shit on way too much." So here's a guy who's saying, "Dude, the experience I had with him was amazing," you know. And this is obviously, we've heard this before from a lot of different actors as well, that he has a lot of enthusiasm and passion, and it makes him want to do it. Taika gives off the real. Okay,
you're not wrong.
Exactly.
I agree, and we can go ahead and do a live like as we're here, as we do on the show. Click, and we're at 5,000,
and we're hit the 5,000 mark. That's breaking news.
Jesus Christ.
But guys, earlier we talked about Superman Solar, and that's why we have Andrew on here. Check out his channel, A-List Productions on YouTube. I cannot wait for the first teaser trailer for Superman Solar. Like, I really cannot wait to see it. I'm really excited for it. I think the suit looks amazing. I want to ask you, do you have any other suits that are made for any other characters? You don't got to say who they are, but are there other suits being developed?
There is a suit being developed that will go to the next phase, pending on a certain goal we hit on funding. But there is concept art already made of this suit, and it's already been talked to for.
Do you have
who we would go
to the drawing that you had of Superman before you send it to concept?
I do. I don't have it like handy, but yes, I do have it. I can.
Well, go get it. No, I'm just kidding.
He's like digging through stuff.
Yeah. He's like, it's in here somewhere. I don't know where I put it.
That's okay. We'll hold.
Yeah. But we know it's not going to be, anything like that. So, we're good there. We're good there. But no, so definitely check out A-List Productions. Do you have that link, Anthony? You have it still in your...
Which one?
The link is in the description.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, man. I just put it in chat again.
There you go. So
there it is. There it is, guys.
So donations start as low as $1. If you guys can donate to Superman Solar. If not, share the link with everybody else so that maybe they can donate and help get the budget up. This is a huge undertaking that he's taking on, and it's going to be really awesome to see it come together in its full glory when it's all said and done. So, Andrew, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was awesome to have you on here. I had so many questions to ask you about Superman Solar, and you answered like almost everything that I possibly could think of. So, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having me on. It's always fun hanging out with you guys and chatting about the geek stuff. So I'm always down.
Definitely.
Yeah. And also, Andrew, like I am I do earlier we're talking about the score and things of that nature. When that's that nature. As far as the teaser trailers, I'm looking forward to that for sure. But
I thought for real. And you can also hit me up for this if you ever need this.
If you ever need a Black Adam stand-in,
I could do this. It's gonna be a sequel. We'll call it. We'll call it Black Adam Solar.
Yeah,
but
Solar Eclipse.
I do like what you were talking about though, that you've been listening to the music for a while. So like that's one of the things I'm most looking forward to hear is just like
that's what
the score and things like once
you listen to like I used to listen to John Williams in the dark, and then sort of like create the screenplay from that, just sort of like whatever it was, because he's just fire. Yeah, so because I mean, it allows when you're just in the dark, yes, because it allows your imagination to just run wild, right? And you're paying more attention to the to the.
It doesn't matter what
instrument. Okay, but anyway, so I mean, it was a good tool for me.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Well, that's all we have for today's show. I want to thank obviously Andrew for coming out here and talking about Superman Solar. Obviously, Anthony, Ryan, thank you so much again for coming out here. Let's go around the horn. Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me on Zebrafet TikTok, and that's where I'll be putting a lot of my stuff. Also on YouTube. So, but also, you can find me here, and then on the Four Nerds on Thursdays.
Okay, Anthony.
You can find me
all forms of social media.
All forms of social media at ACS.
Things of that nature.
And underscore that for Twitter. Four Nerds on Thursdays, my show on Fridays, here on Mondays most of the time. And on Sundays, World's Finest, man. I'm all over the place. And then also Great Scenes of All Time. New one coming out Wednesday. So
there we go. And then Andrew, I know I said your channel a bunch of times, but go ahead. Where can they find you?
On YouTube and TikTok, it's A-List Productions, and then Instagram and Twitter, it's at A-List OK, which is right down there. And check out the Indiegogo page, Superman Solar. You can find it very easily.
And there's a link right there.
There you go.
There's a link right there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for for watching the show. Smash that like button, become a member, join the Patreon, help support the channel, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next time. Ryan, do you have any parting words for everybody before we go? Peace out. There it is. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.